The big goal with One Night in Karazhan's collectible cards is to change the meta. We really think it's important that when a new set comes out, people are trying new decks, they're experimenting in new ways. And so that's the biggest focus for us when we're making new cards, is that we are either supporting decks that maybe didn't have quite enough cards to make a big splash, or inventing brand new decks and giving players the tools to invent their own brand new decks. So that's the biggest focus for us whenever we make new content, is making sure that there's those pieces to support a brand new metagame. There's a lot of cool stuff. You've seen some of the new pieces for these decks already, like the Curator is the centerpiece of a new Beast Dragon Murloc deck, which is totally nuts. That's the brand new deck type that I think is very interesting. Also, the new Rogue card, Ethereal Peddler, is the start of a Rogue Burgle deck, which is a little bit out there, right? There's not really anything like this before, but we loved experimenting with using all those types of Burgle effects and things like Grand Crusader to give you class cards that are not Rogue to put in your hand so that you can use Ethereal Peddler, who's great on his own. He's a great rate for a 5-cost minion, and then do some truly crazy stuff with his effect. We always try and get the flavor of a card and the mechanics of the card very tightly married. I think the best, most successful cards that we've made have like a perfect marriage of mechanics and flavor. So often we'll start with an idea of a flavor for a card that we know we really want to put in the set. We really want the Curator. He's such a huge character in the adventure. We really want Barnes in there. Morose is basically the main character of the adventure in Medivh's absence. So these are characters we knew we wanted, and what kinds of effects would they have? You know, Barnes works with actors, so maybe he summons a 1/1 minion who acts like one of the minions in your deck. The Curator runs the menagerie, so maybe he would interact with all types of different creatures in this crazy zoo. And so sometimes we start from that top level perspective of the flavor first, and then we invent mechanics that are really fun for them. Sometimes we start from the bottom. We start with the mechanics that we want to get across in the set, or try new things, or invent new decks, and then we come up with flavor that I think really is a great match for those. Ethereal Peddler is a good example of that, where we wanted to invent this new Rogue deck. We really wanted to support this new style of deck, and so we came up with that mechanic first, and then thought about what in Karazhan would be a good match for this type of mechanic. League of Explorers raised the bar. And we're continually doing that, I think, with each of our adventures. So yeah, League of Explorers changed the meta in a lot of awesome ways. It was probably our most impactful set at the time. And yeah, I think that One Night in Karazhan is going to do a lot of the similar stuff. It's going to totally shake up the meta. Yeah, but I think we'll always be looking at League of Explorers and saying, like, that was a moment where we did something great, and I hope we can hit that going forward as well.